Mame fa say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV de o se dem yopo. Se so ba sawoma tembia omsusu se omutata NPP for no mu be deeper. Ivan Yanko wafa kasa.
Yes, Alaska. Dabia mekasa Ghana political space used to be a decent space. Na first in your be a politician. Put in your mind a certain pedestal. Even though na neman koye in terms of development there, but the persons involved no ye nipa bia will get you more at a very highest pedestal. Say some level of intellectual reverence will come to bear. But in recent time, my culture say some fools have taken over the political space.
Some fools?
Yeah. Individuals who don't even fit to say you're coming close to where no, and by whatever. Atimia clambia to the stage, and then when these people speak, they are classified as politicians. I don't know, bring some sort of characterization to the already way now you war as a politician. And now my respect and the reverence. Man for war for the political class, the so-called political elite, in the hopium, because sa nipa yo munim nyansai, ne kakra no munim nyansa. No more feel no musician signing in a tuafra. And on one stage, so. And where you are positioned, that doesn't matter. It's about relationship and the kind of way you war and the tuafranti. A hunsun sanswa and a magana bra besi nay. And cat, you know, I say nine men and somebody like Abronye will be classified as a politician, kind of cray. But Sana Seba, Makacho Sakufa at the time, you know what happened to NPP. The intellectuals were substituted for some of these characters. Yeah. So it's quite obvious. But you see, I'm very much disappointed in Bawumia, and I'm not sure say Osunya Bibi. And on one Kasano, my catcher said, I did offend the leadership and Kasane Binimu. I said, Nkrofu Kobi ne piano, why vice president ubetimiaye. But Alaska leadership and Kasa won a certain name be a come with. And I think that Bawumia lack almost everybody, everything. Oh yes, on your fit for your friend saying that particular your friend saying now you cut it to as a leader, no? Because when he had opportunity to be vice president, no, you baby and near my ekoko wiye. Baba and Timber Kasa, you baby and near my ekoko wiye. Alaska situation now air costs a no. Me, my culture said democracy, baby, I am fast kind and yediano. And I always advocate say Obia should be given the opportunity on children because it is the disagreement in the discourse and enrich the quality of your democracy. Because democracy is not always about you agreeing with me agreeing with you. There must be the other side of the argument. It may come in the form of dissenting, but you look at the quality in that dissent, na ebia o flip for opinion you think says oh you call UK parliament your fancy parliamentary work the debate you see the quality you see some level of antagonism who quite clear but behind it you see say man for a can sama reasonable even though you disagree with the person but waiting find it be from the oyenum but any line sense say faber tenase faber can sebi enkwasi asem.
That's right.
And that is the level I ever be through. The NPP today, after slipping into opposition, that is the arena I want to slip in. Now, last time when this thing started, Abronye bi koko ye bi my national security for koko cheno. And somehow Okanye was so dirty, so filthy against the sitting president. Dr. Bawumia driving your car Abronye ni fie kobo na baso sa only commissionerate. And he could not at the time condemn those things. The very moment you do that, you incentivize and motivate your supporters. Say that is the line. Wow, Bekobiano, I'm there. I'll protect you. So that line of politicking, and I bet the order of the NPP today. So consistently, you see, say, Omunina Obia run that verbal bar, the offense verbal diarrhea, and some of the things they say are very dangerous. Over the years, you know, criticize the judges.
Very well.
The judiciary was so dirty. But what is Obia judge never be so didn't attempt that. And the church that these people don't know answer because Abronye they know wa package wa five particular judge. and all lampy on him specific allegations. Say you're promising to say you be promoting no, what you bribe or your NDC ni say. These are specific way a falling within the scope of contempt.
That's right.
Because in as much as the law of contempt, my culture say me free say you old a cake, maybe a baby do a but as long as it exists, you must be sensible enough to know what to say and what not to say. Because there are several ways you can criticize a judge without going personal.
That's it,
and your message will be heard.
Debi auka unim nyansa unim nya. See to meet tenaso ha. And some ya kan kura no so
no there na waka. There na waka.
That's right.
And I'm say onim nyansa ntino da bia no ho bako ato asem mu. It is sama Abronye and others kan eno na ye nsema Dr. Bawumia support ya na say Okasa state chi obi. So does it mean that he's in support of Asama Abronye Kano? Because as a responsible leader, the first thing you do is to condemn that irresponsible, reckless comment na Abrante ni make and sana uwo position bi kra set ya wa set it. That's why I just say even communication, there is a crisis within the NPP. Oh yes, Alaska. Now as a leader, you see, my said this is a political party.
Ivan,
one lose connection with people.
That's right.
One thing, bridge you must first be able to connect to the people before you make your case. Because once you are behind the door, case biya will make it no. However legitimate, justifiable no. Obianye ready so bet you. And you must first build the bridge. So as a politician, you must be smart enough. By you use the opportunity to build a bridge. By telling people, say, your political party is so.
That's right.
So you condemn the act, then you make a case. Say, so the oil so because your democracy revolve around fine speech. So when you make a case, people will take you serious. But Alaska, without condemnation, Fanti comedy day, he never condemned.
That's right.
And there are a lot of among four or more lampy on President Mahama. You have never condemned any of these things. So you come up to defend that. It means you are the sponsor of this, you're saying nonsense now echoes on the sidelines. And again, because he who comes into equity
must come with clean hands.
Alaska. So we'll go back to your friend say Akufo-Addo 8 years. Na Bawumia no ontwetwa na ntwena mo no a vice president na on to China not to Chroma say Alaska, you can go back to the internet and check say you can't political harassment to the point say na you kidnapping people nyina wo.
That's right.
State mercenary na they were using state mercenary to kidnap people. Dr. Bawumia not on a single occasion and it will be in an okasa. Alaska, journalists were being hounded. Some were chased out of this country. How many people na ya arrest them? Your friends say Abrante yourself ane. Your friends say Bobi Ansa at Xtra FM na jo and your kokofa no. Wunye ye ote SYZ Abrante yi. Okodam for almost 14 days.
That's right. Ohinibabu.
Yes. And Captain Smart to show so where ne ya de we show no so. Na national security for wura ho ne akwakwakye na free show no so na na akọ
na Ohinibabu ama unim ne wenyina ne say 2020 election petition no Ohinibabu ama say judges unanimous FC anane from no judges ni nanado tio judges ni nanado ehia e na omu dwini wo dem answer na omu di verdict ne ba
good
it enu ni nia Abronye eka
yes
it see a man 14 days
yes and Alaska we are reasonable as a leader. You will be very mindful because anybody within the NPP can just go berserk and say anything. But you as a leader, you need to look at all these things and say about make a comment or make a comment because you cannot play ignorance over these happenings. Close to the pointer, you're kidnapping the people and just arrest him.
FM 92.3.
Obaya na oti airport. Yase we deny national signals brew your friend is saying omo capo ama ne plane to no oba ma me panyini ye ko kidnap no.
That's right.
Be sin the kidnapping ye hu ye and other people journalists are omo handle omo out of this country and even people within the NDC some were facing jail terms and so forth. So you see some of us can issue condemnation across board.
But
And
you
condemn. But you have no
locus.
moral audacity. And you must be shameless to gather momentum to be condemning these things. Remember, can I say Abronye be posted say doom so there be a cocoa chain.
That's right.
I can't say it was highly unreasonable. Say about fair two now second year good kamu near kwachini pan in the rumble star because what trust the doom so has returned. Everybody, every sensible person knew say it was a crisis. And the crisis was being resolved. So there was no need to use state machinery to highlight these idiots. Because you are making them heroes.
That's right.
Using national resources, highlighting fools.
And Abronye be you inviting because he had the no grant interview no. Also apart from no nyankupo also no Dr. Bawumia the next our worship no.
Yo, good. So you see, they draw motivation from Bawumia support now or the man for no.
Right.
And today he has come to confirm say he is the shadow sponsor of all these political nonsense. Now you see his people throwing all over the space. And this era we are away, you cannot do some of these things and survive. And besides, sa politics in a term. Sa politics are young kodi we yatem, young can sem go among for no, and this for ye be, and yes, you better move no. Sa politics in a term.
You do me, I do you.
Because Alaska and the average person now all follow politics and they are very smart, very intelligent. Or has a neck kind, ye gusumano. And you must sama how it's being resolved. And the other critical issues are it is not about ye wometo, me ya santini, me ya ngunani, me ya bununi, entino, sa crass sem no a chum, ya find your politics BM. And if that is the card as a leader, why would you so be player? You will not survive. I think that the only reason the NPP might have thought of electing their leader early was to activate a certain policy conversation.
That's right.
I remember a man who said in China but tonight, you know, what's here, BB? You are presenting yourself as a new leader. But the shadows of incompetence, bad governance, everything around the economic space is hanging. And then the same Bawumia is being chased by the ghost of Akufo-Addo's terrible, horrible government.
92.3.
81 person, you know, also near my bottom, agegar no denam. You have zero credibility. And Bawumia is not a candidate here. Otimi a convincing pampo. Oh, na Alaska.
Na brabo kra nshem kra.
Oh, Alaska. Now political speech, my catcher said presidency, no, fine speech is one of the key things. And that is the thing he lacks when it comes to communication. God, communication is not just about what tenants will be or not can say more. You should have the capacity to convince people. That was my catcher said NPP for maybe mentor na TV3 for you know, or monya mentor Xtra. No mon chance here.
Mentor na womo ye.
Yeah.
Monya mentor Xtra.
No mon pair communicators. Smart, intelligent, assertive people who can communicate and convince people. But these guys you see on TV, they are rather infuriating people.
The more they
there are
talk,
people you see them on TV obiena no kra na ne hoye wahi because we nim say nyansa sem bia no obeka. So maybe they need to change here and begin to look for intelligent, smart communicators who will be able to appeal, convince, because Alaska, the whole essence of political communication is the ability to convince people to agree with you. It's not just about throwing out information. But mono, they are doing the old politics. Yantun semnungum, Mahama say, Mahama, that word now is it enough to convince somebody to vote for you?
Okay.
Let's say Obiako kan kwase asem. Mahama mom, yankasa Mahama kwana mom kokwache no. Yes, wakwache no. Is that enough for people to say about to Abama?
And mama coaching there, and there was
automatically no. No, you can't. You must tell people what your strengths are. The NTS or to Abama. Yeah, you say when you're leader, you say when you're fit for purpose. You say you can't manage a 10. You say just you don't even qualify to be called a leader. We say otherwise. So the onus no resting on you to prove beyond every reasonable doubt. Say, we are fit, me a lady. So you demonstrate that through the way you speak, you act in a policy alternative for communicating. But we by since I'm by how many months in here? ade ben na waka obetimi aka say as an opposition leader or the assembly ya banti no yeah nothing
say ebi na waka no nre
ensem hunu sana ensem hunu no support
just on transform ye wo
Alaska and make us say we see Ghana your political stage in me growing up no how I envisage politics to be in this country. I'm so disappointed.
Said the opposite who
oh yeah, Alaska, because I think say no a lot of fools have taken over the space.
A lot of fools.
Oh yeah. I'm fit for anything. I take over the stage. And by whatever rising to positions they don't even deserve. And when a fool rises to a position of political prominence, Alaska, everybody is in danger.
That's right.
Oh yes, now be only nyansa do so they never told. Because this is be obeteki bia from adwena enim nyansa mu no one word the other our bearings on your life.
So Ivan, this means some crofo we adwene we na adwene man 8 years no.
Yes. Na say ehoma mu na behu ye. Sa adwen no ehoma mu na behu ye akufo ado de oman ne beduru ba bi obeduru ye no. Oman ne Ghana virtually tete pansam ye. And I'm catch you say senka Bawumia ne nkrofo ye nipa a omo wo fere a nka samre nka de ase du nkate ye no ene no monam so anka omo ye
na nka wo mo pa
Ghana for achawo. But today they want to jump over that particular way. Na yan click to level mahama aba onya ne yenhwe. But the gentleman is doing something which you couldn't do in 8 years. He is doing it within 1 year, 2 years. Now no, the rating agencies have started upgrading Ghana.
That's right.
Now NDC ni neto no upgrade Ghana. And now oko your friends feature NDC for na ye adwuma ho. Moody's NDC for na ye adwuma. SMP your friends Mahama offer say na te we ye adwuma.
Sankrofo ya na 17 months ago.
Yes, I'm downgrading Ghana. It shows that something is happening. Inflation numbers no mahusa manfo na masore dem na de na numbers na so just imagine say inflation no gina ba bia na gina first na ebia nka ade na wo free say na eso nteye no ebia nka price na over time.
So what do you make of say na Kwame will tell you say electorate doesn't and Ghanaian electorate they don't eat inflation and they don't eat also they don't eat inflation. Macroeconomic
indices
they don't eat inflation. Normal countries they don't eat inflation.
Na say ho wie ye ho sunsun na elections no munyaaye no. Say adwen mu ha na kasa ho ba enwene sunsun so.
Na Kwame so wanyin pa.
Na say na wanyina no de.
Na do say na wanyin.
Matusala age be no nyaaye. Matusala odimfie say. Nyansa sembe na Bible ma ye kan ye bo Matusala din. Yesu di 33 o.
Okay.
Bible no wage afa.
Yesu agi Bible na.
Matusala on na nyini ye Bible mu nyansa sembe na obetumi aka say Matusala na ye we Matusala na ye we de ba ya.
Obetumi anyi na so na.
Nti sa na tie nyini nka hwe.
P2 ni azu.
Say eno na ye nenam ha ye brei. Because over the years no ya dwe ne say nyansa ati panyini tim. Eno mo nam so di nkebu na bubu kru na say na ye de ba wie ba bi ye wie. But elsewhere it's a different thing. So wanyini ni de ukodoma hene beba konwa ma ukotena ha no mu hie mpanimfo na kodi akonwa yamfa manyini mebu oman kotena kura sefa kubu ande no wo ya busua panyini nsemhunu bia betimi adi akwai ba ya lumba busua panyini ba ya nsemhunu ni niam obedi
na to pa
audit na busua fie no bia nka ohe basa oman na usu ba bedi so Alaska. You need to get your this thing well. And for me, I think say Bawumia has a problem. So maybe and I make say here your friends are consultant in terms of communication. Be coach you mentor how extra. To and I know or party dan kasa mentor extra. No more empochi communicators who be speaking for them. Because it's a political party issues are bani ye koka. No opposition party no nipa bie na no na okasa. Na ne hu ya bufu chan aban no what power na. It means that there is a problem because they are they almost jumping over a particular point to bridge the gap. And I'm because politics no are strategical.
Okay.
You cannot jump over one step and get it right. Ghana for still I would say men as a between what Akufo-Addo did to them and your friend saying baby omo and Mahama government trying to do things different. So Anamakacha say Mahama Abai is not a government of angels. he may get certain things wrong. But and the question will always be, so the Mahama ye and the Akufo-Addo no me 8 years at the same Bawumia na eba no Alaska dia ebu dia he and I'm me as a Ghanaian ever quite a kama mame and obviously they will go for the government, and you as opposition, you know, will always be in the shadows making noise, but nobody will take you serious. So I think that Bawumia is a very disappointing character.
No, you just use a word. You be making noise.
Yes.
But tie away, mommy. Tie miracle waji here for me.
I don't know why, but I get a sense. I don't know why, but I get a sense. And this is for my caster spell be good on my so. Because you see, you didn't hear. I say Chief Justice. I say we. And I mean, my friend say a serious matter because when I don't expect anger, I expect sadness. I expect person who are who be person who say I don't know. Say Chief Justice of the Republic, very media engagement there to be very fair to her. That is I didn't know anything. It means that I say avenues in block it. So.
And we nyansa obetisa niam we ase because adwe nim nyansa be hu say they messed up to the point to say afono Ghana for.
That's right.
And anything that happens today, no, the average Ghanaian is for it. So as I'm now all kind of demonstrated the extent to which the NPP mess up this country, and the fact that Ghana for don't want to have anything to do with them.
That's right.
If you are smart and that thing will play in your head and you admit it. I
say NDC for my
yes, and because adwenu mu etia say na adwenu mu do na nyansa wo fia you will understand say Akufo-Addo messed up big time to the extent that anything that relate to Akufo-Addo is something Ghana for don't want to.
Now afe in order say nka ube hilisa when uda sukra bonten ni say wo ba
exactly and Bawumia sama okay he is rather threatening.
Yes.
Obia assemblyman kra nyanto abama wo. Wouldn't nam kwan chen. Your friend is saying, you know, instead of you to communicate what you do, no, you are threatening people. Say, oh, ba, also back to a man for that makes you a better alternative. And I'm catching say communication here very poor and weaker. You should understand. Because as a leader, what from a very terrible, destructive past. So Bawumia, he is not an ordinary person that is seeking for president. He has a very destructive and terrible ties with Akufo-Addo. For 8 good years, they destroyed this country. The signatures are quite clear. You don't need, your friend is saying, microscope. And so now they are quite their destructive tendencies were quite obvious. The mess up, the incompetence was quite clear. This is the person who is trying to repackage himself. Say, Ghana for Abamano. When the wounds are still fresh. Ghana for 2 money. One on original na anu yo. One aka say wa arrested dollar de sika your friend said the key agu bottom. Ya de be hoso no. San wona na say dem na dollar no na mabonten.
Dollar no mo de na
say dem. Oh yeah, dollar no okay no. And we pie no na mo party ahodo okoba sa. And Bawumia said them. And for almost 4 good years, the gentleman could not open his mouth to say anything about the economy. Economy ni tamboye. It got to a point we were rated junk at the global stage.
That's right.
And now finance minister I say or no and the be na no adwane to obi man so man krom na wo Mrs. Ankrofo they are shameless bunch of individuals.
Now you are demanding accountability.
You have audacity asking somebody for accountability. O finance minister adwane to obi man so enya nimguasia man at this time and era. And you have no sense of shame. You can't even call him to come back. So Akufo-Addo nam krom saying, what say Obiaka say? Your friend say, Papa no mura krom hada.
No.
And these same characters want power. Now we say near. Will you hand over power to we? And I'm catch say, even if Bahama ends up messing up, that become debatable. Say Ghana for the Bama because I know that hey, wow Ghana. Chachuchi katatia sorry them no mkofa no. People were picked from the airport. For Kwame Biswa Akufo time. And also born in the Wadibu Okruma.
That's right.
Yes.
But then I see Flight Lieutenant General is in the
very vindictive.
I see Onuni Woda.
Yes.
Simply because within that terms or you're incompetent.
Yes.
Or you're incompetent.
Yes. Very vindictive character. Very vindictive. Now, or the firm, this is a gentleman at some point in time. Rawlings appointed him as a deputy minister in his government.
That's right.
You see the kind of people they are. And today you have the audacity running around saying what? And America said they have no sense of shame. And you know, you can just say anything. But Ghana, Nina, and then one move away from efficacy politics.
Efficacy.
Say efficacy. Oko sa your friends saying Abrosan tenten na. Onko no my steps na the fear ni yam so to egusu ni wo hu sa Abrosan no bi no.
FM 92.3.
Esoro fo nyina yo so no ase fo nyina yo so no.
Okay.
Sa we ni binti ya wo to sa fear no aye dan wo yo so no. And then Branta no mo move free sa atete Abrosan no obi ana ne ma amene no we atete fie so people are beginning to grow their own political consciousness. Are the AC and they determine the political affinity and affiliation. Until efficacy MB, until Abrosan can see MB, your friends say they read what they see and they inherit it without questioning. Ne papa your son to your son, then I chini into honestly chini. No, this era and to politics, you know. Oh, kasa what they buy now, you will not survive.
So once NPP is struggling in opposition because man your margin so adapted themselves to the current narrative.
No, so you won't mean sasa. Because politics of intelligence, you know, we hear train now they are. Na say train then na the baye. Oh yeah.
Politics of intelligence we hear train.
Now last guy you hwene na ye.
Because train when should
yeah, nti training nya won't mean fa nya bi. And the Yankee Kangum sa that is your best shot. That is what you can do.
They thrive on emotion.
Yes. Sentiment. Yankee Kangum nina se phone because issue no da ho. Yan dissect it, the critical component of it. Yan discuss na yan position sabaya. Ghana ni beti asiye na. No. Ya ben ntokwa. Ya beti atiem. Yankee zu amamfo ne na se phone. So that is the line of politics. But you see, baby a politics na nyina ba bedru ene no. Average Ghanaian no. Sa nneema ni nya appealing BM.
That's right.
Nano mete Abronye be say for the bullet or say you wonu to Kumasi ntino and na man be ye NPP ni but onyi ni ye ne wati sa ne man nyina free ni mu you see that
and yes to about obeto mama ham
exactly
that's right
so you see omono they are still reviving that old political playbook creating that sentimental attachment partisan affinity sa your friend is saying ethnocentric tribal lines, you know, and more try to revive. Because in the information era, if a man for access to information, and I'll ask out one thing is you can never access tons of information and remain same. No, consciously or unconsciously, it will impact your life.
That's right.
And this is the information era, and you know, we are gender politics will collapse. Until you must begin to see how abetimi assess the political narrative no now we adopted the new modalities now we tab in to convince now a trainer be convincing a bit ni ho because you listen to some of the guy who communicate for the NPP on radio TV stations
serious
and your aggression and your ntokwa and some no more cannot think say na kwa we and politics are ordinary. Yeah, no choba ne bia bar no drinking sport no and ya packaging they got on TV so.
Oh how?
Oh yes. That is the argument they do on TV. Ne ye dey say bubo tables na we lie da ben.
And ye bar. Say akra dey ye bar was say Abronye ye Yoko boss.
Yes.
Na
kwasi akeka kwasi enti Abronye no be Yoko boss no. Sanke nyansa sema nke na be kan bra obu afu.
O say
no, Abronye nye Yoko boss no. Senka enyansa sema, senka won kan bra obuafu.
That's right.
You are telling people say Abronye no cry nya fit for say adman ba enam vindictiveness here buy never kwakoye.
Enti asema wo ka sesi ani say wubufu a asema kan nyanya.
Exactly. Alaska. And me ka say asem nsi ye obi anim nyansa o. Na da asem besin na be hu say nyansa fo ne ka krabi.
Right, that's a live on your radio on 92.3. This takes us to 2 minutes. To the top of the hour. I'm not PENDREAM TV. Now, so far so good. Say open online portal le Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.